Call the Newman City Council regular meeting of September 11th to order, please. Please stand for the pledge. Ready to begin?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Councilman Hutchins, please.
Father, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for this opportunity to be in this just beautiful new facility, Lord. We just ask that you'll give us wisdom tonight as we work on the business of the city. And just we ask again that you'll be with the Evans family after Kathy's passing and with the Reed family after Dave's passing. We've lost two very good community members. Lord, we just praise you and thank you, and we ask this all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Davis.
Present.
Hutchins.
Present.
Candia.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Martina.
Present.
Mayor Caton.
Present. Declaration of conflicts of interest. Seeing none, we'll move to item 6, ceremonial matters. A, badge pinning of Corporal Gosselin. Chief?
This is different. You guys are way over there now. Good evening, Mayor, council members. Corporal Gosselin, if you could join me up here. Come on around. It is my pleasure to introduce to you tonight Corporal Jason Gosselin. He started with the department in March of 1999 as a reserve police officer. In February of 2000, he was picked up as a full-time police officer while he had a couple months left in the academy. Since that time, Corporal Gosselin has done many different assignments with the police department: a field training officer, detective, gang officer, drug recognition expert, background investigator, and the list goes on and on. You can see he's been dedicated 13 years of employment with the city. His hard work is finally paying off, and he recently tested for corporal and was promoted to corporal. Tonight with Corporal Gosselin is his fiancée, Angelica Reyes. They will be married in 17 days, so wish them luck, because this might be the last time you see them as single people. And his mother, Chris Gosselin. So without any further ado, we'll go forward. Angelica, if you could meet us up there for the badge pinning.
Feel free to draw blood.
You're still safe.
Sure. Take a quick 5 minutes. 5-minute break? 6? About 6 minutes. I have.
You said average is 3.
September the what?
30th.
30th.
Okay. We're back on the agenda. We'll go to item number 7, items from the public, non-agenda items. Now it's time for any member of the public wish to address the council. Now it's time to do it. Please step to the podium. Wayne, you get to be the first public member to speak at the new podium.
Find my way over there.
Vicky insists on having her name up there, but sorry.
Well, good evening. It's wonderful to be here. It's a wonderful, wonderful room. Nice chairs. They're very comfy. My name is Wayne Philbrook. I'm the branch manager of the Newman Public Library, and I'm here to let you know about some upcoming programs and some news about the library. Since I last spoke to you, the summer reading program has ended, and it was a big hit. We had almost 300 children participate in the summer reading program. We handed out over 530 prizes. And if you do the math, that accounts for approximately 74,760 minutes of reading by the children of Newman this summer. We have story time ongoing through the month of September. Story time every Wednesday morning from 10 to 10:30. Children aged 3 to 5 are welcome to attend. Next Tuesday night, a week from tonight, the 18th of September, the library is hosting their monthly family game night. The whole family is invited to play board games, cards, puzzles, whatever we've got available. And some news just starting yesterday. Ebooks are now available through the Stanislaus County Library. You can go to www.stanislauslibrary.org. You go to materials on the left-hand side and then ebooks, and it'll step you through the steps that you need to do to download ebooks to whatever handheld device you have, or you can read them on your PC at home. These free programs are brought to you through the 1/8 cent dedicated sales tax that funds the library. They're brought to you by the Library Foundation and, of course, the support of the Friends of the Newman Library. Please stop in and visit us, and I look forward to seeing you at the library.
Thank you, Wayne.
Wait, could you repeat that website again?
It's the main website for the county library. It's www.stanislauslibrary.org.
Thank you.
And hopefully on the front page they'll have a little thing about the ebooks too. So
Any other questions, comments? Again, thank you.
thank
Appreciate
you
it,
very
Wayne.
much.
Okay, we'll go to item 8, consent calendar. A is waive all readings of ordinances and resolutions except by title. B is approval of the warrants. C is approval of the minutes of the August 28, 2012 regular meeting.
Move to approve the consent calendar as read.
Second the motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Go to item 9, public hearing. A is continued public hearing regarding the Supplemental Law Enforcement Services Fund, also known as SLEF, and authorize expenditures for this funding under AB 1913.
Evening, Mayor, council members. Before you tonight is a continuation that Councilmember Hutchins had brought up a question regarding last week. We did some research on this matter, and I'll get to that in a minute, but the background is the city is scheduled to receive $100,000 in funding through the state, through the Supplemental Law Enforcement Services Fund. We've received this funding for the past 10 years, and last year it was scheduled to go away. However, you remember we received it anyway. We had to do a budget adjustment. This year it was guaranteed to us. It was built into our budget. There's some requirements that go along with this, that it be used for frontline service needs, that a public hearing be held, that it can only supplement, not supplant the budget, and the final requirement is that the money is spent by June 30th of 2013. All remaining funds must be returned to the state at that time. During the building of the budget, we have budgeted $90,000 to SR 911 and $10,000 to overtime. The question was brought up by Councilmember Hutchins last meeting that possibly supplanting. We did some research with the board and also spoke with our city attorney, and we believe that we're in good standing at this point. So I would ask you to open up a public hearing and move forward with the report as written.
Any questions, Chief, prior to opening the public hearing? All right, we'll open the public hearing regarding the SLEF funding. Any member wish to address the council? Now it's time to do it. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Bring it back to council for direction.
I move that we approve a continued public hearing regarding the Supplemental Law Enforcement Service Fund and authorize expenditures for this funding, AB 1913.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. B, will hold public hearing and consider approval of the Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, also known as CAPER, relating to its fiscal year 2011-2012 past activity. Stephanie.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Before you is the draft CAPER, which reports on the Stanislaus County CDBG Consortium's progress in implementing the annual action and consolidated plan projects. The preparation of the CAPER is required by HUD in order for the county consortia to continue to receive CDBG funding on an annual basis. No comments on the draft have been received by staff. Therefore, staff recommends that the council conduct the required public hearing and adopt the CAPER relating to fiscal year 2011-2012 past activities. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of Stephanie? All right. I'll open the public hearing. Any member wish to address the council? Now it's time to do it. Seeing none, close public hearing and bring it back to council.
I'll make a motion, we hold a public hearing and consider approval of the Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, CAPER, relating to its FY 2011-2012 past activity.
Second motion.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 10, regular business. A, first reading and introduction of ordinance approving zone changes 2012, next number 01, in conformance with the Newman 2030 general plan. Stephanie.
Good evening again. Before you is zone change 1201, proposing the rezoning of 7 parcels on the 1000 block of N Street from C2 General Commercial to PO, which is Professional Office. This proposed zone change is a direct result from public comment received during the citywide rezone process that took place last year. The Professional Office zone has been crafted to create a restrictive district for low-intensity professional and commercial uses, which are in close proximity to residential uses, such as the case with North N Street and North Main Street. The proposed professional office zone is consistent with our general plan and downtown specific plan. On August 16th, staff presented the proposed zoning district and rezoning to the Planning Commission, and they did recommend that the City Council approve both. Given the potential development conflicts that may occur in that area in the future, staff does recommend that the council approve both the zoning district and the rezoning and conduct the first reading of ordinance number 2012 next in number, amending Title V zoning. I would like to note on the staff report, it inadvertently states open the public hearing. The public hearing is going to be held during the second reading if the council so chooses. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments for Stephanie? Seeing none, we'll bring it back council direction.
I so move that we have read the first reading and introduction of ordinance approving zone change 2012-2001 in conformance with the Newman 2030 general plan.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Item B is adopt resolution number 2012, next in number, a resolution awarding the Hoyer Road Safe Routes to School Cycle 10 Design Services to Govea Engineering Incorporated. Garner.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. As you stated, item before you tonight is to consider awarding the Hoyer Road Safe Routes to School Cycle 10 Design Services to Govea Engineering Incorporated. The City of Newman applied for and received Safe Routes to School grant in the amount of $177,300 for surface improvements, including sidewalks, curb gutters, and matching pavement on the area between Yolo Middle School and Silva Avenue. Work includes about 285 lineal feet of that work. The design services that we went out on the RFP for included providing complete project administration, preliminary engineering, surveying, bidding services, construction administration, and other related engineering services that are necessary for the complete project. City advertised and received sealed formal proposals for the Hoyer Road project. On September 4th, 2012 at 2 p.m., a total of 3 qualifying proposals were submitted. They were reviewed by city staff, and Govea Engineering Incorporated was determined to be the most qualified consultant. The grant does have a minimum required match of 10% for the funding. In the grant fund, we estimated approximately $59,600 for this type of work. Govea Engineering, on a time and material basis, estimated that it would be approximately $39,910 for their work. However, when you deal with Caltrans and deal with grant funding, you never completely sure how much environmental work they're going to need or how many meetings you're going to need in order to ensure that the grant is successfully applied. So there is a little bit of wiggle room. We have approximately $20,000 if we have to have additional meetings with them or if they require additional environmental survey work out there, and sometimes that does happen. Therefore, the staff recommends City Council award the Hoyer Road Safe Routes to School Design Services to Govier Engineering Incorporated and authorize City Manager to sign the agreements. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Any questions or comments, Garner?
Garner, where are our local funds coming from? What?
Our local funds, those are coming out of our, where are we pulling those out of? I'm trying to remember.
First, we'll go to LTF to see how much money we have
LTF.
available, and then if we have to go from there, then we'll go to our roads money.
But it was LTF, I remember now.
Okay, so it wasn't anything that's already designated out of the roads
No.
fund? or anything?
No.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, council direction.
I move we adopt resolution number 2012, next in number, awarding the Hoyer Road Safe Routes to School Cycle 10 Design Services to Gouveia Engineering, Inc.
Second the motion.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Garner. Item C is consider declaring the position of city treasurer vacant and authorize staff to advertise for the city Newman citizens interested in filling the position of treasurer. Michael?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Good evening. As you know, the filing deadline for our elected positions closed on August 10th of this year. Under city ordinance and state law, the treasurer's position is an elected position, a 4-year term here in the city of Newman. Because Mr. Reed was the only one, he's the incumbent, he was the only one to file for the position. During our special meeting that we held on Thursday, August 23rd, the city council voted just to appoint Mr. Reed back to that position for the term beginning in November of 12 till October 2016. Unfortunately, I'm sad to announce that Mr. Reed lost his battle with cancer shortly thereafter. And so from that position, we have a 4-year term that the council needs to proceed forward with. You have two options. One, you can direct staff to go out and advertise for people who want to fill the position, and then you can appoint, or you can hold a special election. Unfortunately, it's too late to take part in the November election, so you're going to have a special election at the full cost to the city. With that in mind, staff is recommending that the council direct staff to place advertisements in the local newspapers, as well as publish those on our website, seeking people who may be interested in the position. The position of treasurer is it's largely an advisory and reviews city numbers, basically account balances type things, and they also are a check signer. There's a salary with the position, and it's $75 a month. So with the concurrent
people.
yeah. You know, we actually, it's a good question, because we actually looked at, dating back, and as we looked historically, this city's always had an issue with people wanting to serve as city treasurer for a long period of time. It was very difficult. At some point, Ms. Carvalho, Marge, resigned, but we couldn't get anyone to take her place, so we had to get her to come back in, basically not accept her resignation until we could find somebody. So we thought about, there's two things you could have done. One, eliminate the position, or two, appoint staff to be the treasurer, a member of staff to be the treasurer. But in order to appoint a member of staff to be the treasurer, we would have to go through an election, and the members of the community would have to authorize that. So at this point, we think the best course of action is to move forward, direct staff to place those advertisements and see what kind of people we get, what kind of interest that the community has, and then we'll appoint, so forth. So we have 60 days to do that in. So if you give us direction, we'll start the advertising process and probably come back to you in early October for an appointment.
So in the meantime, then, so there's no lack or no void in the process as far as not having a treasurer or anything?
Yeah, there will not, again, it's mostly advisory and review. We do have people that can sign checks to get that process done, so we have check signers, so there will not be any drop in service level from the city while we seek a replacement for Mr. Reed.
Michael, how many, have we done a study of how many cities in our area actually have a city treasurer, or how many have actually dropped that position?
We started to look into it, but when we started seeing what we were going to have to go through in order to get rid of the position, it really just became a situation where, are we going to do an election? It's probably something that we would maybe look forward to in a future election, to have another conversation with them about it. Some of the city managers I talked to all have city treasurers. They're all basically an advisory. There's a treasurer's report, and we just spoke with our city attorney about this, and we'll get that back to you and start publishing that for you. But it's done by staff, and they just sign it and review it. So, but to your answer, I think there was 300 of the 400 cities have a treasurer in the state.
But normally with
Or
the
have one.
treasurer, there's a,
Mike seems to think maybe the 300 out of the 400 appoint as opposed to elect. So, but at this point in time, we're recommending that we just move forward with an appointment process. And if the council would really like staff to do more due diligence, we can look at that prior to an upcoming election, so we don't have to go through an election process to do that. So,
I move that we declare the position of city treasurer vacant and authorize staff to advertise the Newman citizens interested in filling the position of treasurer.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
a question. on
Okay,
that.
question? Go ahead.
On the, interested, if we do appoint, since it's an elected position, it would be like appointing somebody to the city council if one of those went vacant, right?
Exactly.
And
You
then
appointed to a 4-year term.
to a 4-year term, and then if we had decided to just always make it an appointed position, we would just have to do that through an election toward the end of that 4-year term.
You
Is that
could
correct?
probably do it any time during that 4-year term, and just that at the expiration of the 4-year term, it'll then convert to an appointment position.
Okay.
Because you're not going to stop someone, you're not going to vote, do something.
Not stop in the middle, but.
Correct. But you can do it at any point during that 4-year process.
We've already seconded it.
Okay, satisfies your question, okay?
Yes. thank
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 12, item from the city manager. Oh, I'm sorry. Item 11. Sorry, Jim. Item from District 5 Supervisor, Jim D. Martini. I went right from 10 to 12.
Okay, good evening, Mayor Caton, council members. It's a pleasure to be here tonight to see your new council chambers. Just beautiful. Anyway, I just have a few things tonight. The healthcare task force, I always give you a little report on that every time. We are doing a strategic plan, which is our roadmap into the future, and we're doing it here at the Resource Center in Newman on September 22nd. At that time, we're going to try and lay out what we plan to do in the next few years, and now that we've become a nonprofit organization, just how we're going to handle that. That's an important meeting for us, so it'll give us direction to how we're going to continue in the future. I remind you, the way out for the Biggest Loser contest is October 18th. It was also here in Newman, and it will be in the plaza at about 12 o'clock. And we will have our ag commissioner here with us a scale and give us the official weights of the team. We'll see how well everybody does. Of note, as you know, the Crow's Landing Air Base will be going out for a new request for proposal. The board is ended our relationship with West Park, and so we're beginning to start all over again. Some of the criteria is the same. It's very similar to what the advisory board had in mind for it. So we will be going out with a request for proposal in about another month. I talked to Keith Boggs about it today. We do have some interest from other developers, and there was I can't tell you who it was, but it was a company from Texas who did contact the county about information of what might the request for proposal be. So there is interest out there, and when that request for proposal goes out, we're giving 4 months for a reply to it. So it gives everybody plenty of time to look at the property, come up with a plan, and then present it to the board. So that is underway now. I would imagine, that request will be out in about another month. I don't have a date for sure on that, but that's about the timeline we're looking at. And then the last thing I have is the Lafco meeting on September 26th. We'll be addressing this ag preservation policy. We have revised the policy a few times. It's in the last phase right now. Not that it can't be changed further by Lafco on that meeting, but Lafco will take it up on the 26th. And what comes out of it, hard to say. But it is on the agenda, and I think it's about the only thing on the agenda for this next meeting. So that'll be September 26th at 6 o'clock at the board chambers in the basement. Okay, that's all I have for this evening.
Any questions, comments, Jim? Thank you, Jim.
Okay, thank you.
Now, we'll go to the city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to let the council know soccer is up and going at the Sherman Park. Probably 300 plus kids out there, and gets pretty active. You can pretty much catch soccer from 8:30 in the morning to about 1:30 on Saturday morning. So if you're bored, stop on by and pick yourself up a hamburger, watch a game. The oversight board of the redevelopment agency or the successor agency to the redevelopment agency will meet this Thursday. Unfortunately, due to a noticing error, we're going to have one more meeting at the former council chamber and then all subsequent meetings will be held here. So for those members in the audience that are part of the oversight board, we're going to be meeting at the former chamber on Thursday at 3:30. And we'll send out an email just as a reminder, and then all subsequent meetings will be held here. Just a reminder and an invitation to the public. Next Thursday, the 20th, at 6 p.m., we'll be holding a chamber mixer here at the City Hall. We'll have the few last remaining pieces of this auditorium available and up and going. So staff's been working on that, and we're excited to be hosting. Probably anticipating, probably 75 people or so. So probably get a good turnout. And it'll be fun. And then lastly, just a reminder, unfortunately, again, we lost a great community member in Mr. Reed, Mr. David Reed. His services will be held tomorrow, 12:30 at the National Cemetery for a military honor service. 2 o'clock here at the Presbyterian Church. And then following that ceremony at the Presbyterian Church, there will be a celebration of life at the West Side Theater. So, with that, I can answer any questions that you may have.
Questions or comments, Michael? Thank you. Staff, Garner. You can just stay there if you want, or you can get up. Either way, whatever's comfortable with you guys.
Sure. Just a couple of update items for council. Previous council meeting, you authorized us to move forward with the water rate study, or with the water rate increase. So the notices will be mailed at the end of the month, with the public hearing held on November 13th, just as a reminder. Highway 33 and Inyo Avenue signal improvement project, we redesigned the geometrics on that. It looks like most of the improvements will happen on the west side of the intersection. Once we get a a meeting with Caltrans will kind of get a better idea on their feel on where we need to go with that. So that's our next phase. We just did a preliminary 10% design. We'll go meet with them and see what their feedback is on that. Along that same intersection there, the auto zone, I know there's been some questions on that. What held that project up was some undergrounding of the utilities. That's been completed. They've now got the sidewalk poured, and they should be finishing up their landscaping at that shortly thereafter. A little side note, this year we did receive our grant for electric vehicles, which are in our parade. Just our wastewater plant alone, last month, we saved 45 gallons in fuel just with the electric vehicles. And so that's approximate savings of $160, roughly at $4 a gallon. So that's just in 1 month savings just at the wastewater plant. So if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Standing, any questions, comments, Gardner? Thank you. Lou?
The City of Newman Finance Department is happy to announce that our online utility web payment software is up and running. The Newman residents will find on the home page of our City of Newman website a link that will take them to our web payments webpage. There they can easily set up their online account, which will allow them to pay their utility bill, view their account billing history, and view a graph of their water consumption history anytime, day or night. The web payment software is a secure connection which will provide our customers and our staff with an up-to-the-second status of payments made online. Since this is new ground, as we move forward, we will be developing policies to maintain customer security and provide even greater service. Be happy to answer any questions you have.
Questions of Lou, comments?
This isn't a third-party service, it's direct.
It's the software is actually from Springbrook, which makes our finance package. It's hosted on a server that's PCI compliant, so we don't keep track of the credit card numbers. The credit card numbers are not stored there. They meet all the regulations for that. So it's secure, and it also has a secure connection between their website and our Springbrook server so that they can get updated information and we can see immediate payments that customers make online.
That's great. It's a great service for our public. Any other questions, comments? Who, could you,
If you go to,
What's the
Just
website?
step
Just give
up.
out the website, please.
yeah, the website is our regular City of Newman website, so it's www.cityofnewman.com, and on that homepage, you'll be able to find a link to take you to the web payment page.
okay, all right. Stephanie?
Good evening. I just wanted to announce that the tickets are on sale for our 125th celebration fundraiser to be held on October 8th. Shelley Alves of Up and Smoke Catering is going to be catering that food. It'll be a pulled pork sandwich, homemade coleslaw, chips, and a cookie. So please spread the word. Tickets are available here at City Hall and through various committee members. We are also taking commemorative plate pre-sale orders at this point. The price at this moment is $15. It may increase just given freight and production charges, and we'll be discussing that at tomorrow's Kwaski Centennial meeting, which is open to the public at our former council chambers at 6 o'clock. We also received our HRPP contract from the Department of Housing and Community Development. So once we get that processed, we'll actually start to be able to expend funds to plan those park improvements that we are excited for. That included the skate park expansion, the Amy Park, also known as Glen Park, rehabilitation, and hopefully the completion of the dog park. Planning Department's progressing with the Dollar General review. We received comments from Caltrans, but are still awaiting comments from the railroad. So we will keep you in the loop on that. And also, due to the unfortunate passing of David Reed, we will be needing to appoint a new member to the Architectural Review Committee. So that'll be coming up for your review. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, Stephanie? Thank you, Steph. Chief?
I just have a few quick updates. Fall Festival was held since our last meeting. It was a very low-key event. I think the crowds were approximately the same as they have been in years past. And we made 4 arrests within Fall Festival functions, either downtown or actually in the park. So very low numbers for us, which is a good thing. That means people were celebrating correctly and doing the right thing. The businesses that were open downtown serving adult beverages were on board with us this year. Their security did a wonderful job keeping them below capacity, and we had very minor problems. Another quick update is our second K9 hopefully will certify tomorrow, and you'll see him on the street after that. So he'll be taking his test tomorrow afternoon, and if he passes, he'll be on the street. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, comments, Chief? Okay, thank you, Chief. Council, Nick?
Yeah, make mention of we have a big football game this Friday, Oriston and Gustine, at the Warrior Stadium. Just want to remind everybody to come out and support the team. Boys are 3-0.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Bob, anything?
Well, the sad part of that is my grandson plays for Gustine.
I'm sorry, Bob.
Yeah, that's really too
Still
bad.
gonna lose.
In fact, I have to tell you, my wife told the players on the Oriston team, because he's a quarterback, take it easy on him. So I hope they do. Anyway, I just like to say, we look around, this is a dream come true, and I just thank all those people involved who made this possible. It's just absolutely beautiful. And, it's so much has gone into this, and it's perfect. I mean, I can't see anything that could be better. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. Thank you, Michael, and all your staff and everyone that's been involved in making this possible. It's first class. That's all I have.
I know you want to say something, Michael, go ahead.
No, I want to echo Bob. My staff did a great job. Lou, Garner, Stephanie, Randy was up nailing stuff. I mean, he was involved. Mike was involved with a lot of work. And it's not done yet. Obviously, there's still some pieces that are missing, and the goal is to have it definitely done before the mixer we're going to have next week. So, thank you for the kind comments. And again, it's all the staff that did it all. They did all the hard work. They put it all together. And we had great contractors. Very
Great.
fortunate.
Thanks.
Kudos to the staff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roberta?
It's great to be in this beautiful new room.
Yes, it is. Don, I'll save the last for you. I know you got a lot to say.
Not a whole lot. Just as most of you know, Ed and I just got back this Friday from the League of Cities down in San Diego. Some great symposiums down there. There's a lot of stuff that we learned. I think we'll probably be bringing some stuff back on that within the next couple of weeks. There's a couple of bills that we really need to keep an eye on. AB 214, which is for everybody that has anything to do with the Oversight Board and with the successor agency. They've made a lot of changes that are looking up for us, but there's also a couple of bills that are competing with that have taken away all the changes that they made in 214. And so that's some of the things that I know that, Lou, you'll probably be seeing a lot on the emails. In fact, I got 2 urgents today from
From Steve? Urgent. Yeah.
I'm going to take that word out of his vocabulary. But seriously, it was an excellent time down there, and we did get to a lot of good meetings. We talked to a lot of people, and I will say that everybody's saying, well, this, we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't do this because of our budget. And we just kind of sat there and smiled because we have been very, I think as a council and as a city staff, we've been very fiscally responsible, and it has shown when we talk to other people. So kudos to staff also for that, for helping keep an eye on that. That's all I've got.
Great. Thank you, Don. And I'll just echo everybody's comments. Obviously, this is a great facility, and I'm very proud to be sitting here as mayor for this first meeting, and it's more than I envisioned. I think staff had a great vision what it's going to look like, and it just really came together really nicely. And thanks to everybody for your hard work to get it ready. And it's definitely a Class A facility, and you guys did a great job. So I'm very proud to be sitting here. The conference was great, like Don had mentioned. A lot of information. He and I went different directions in different meetings, and collaborated with our counterparts. And the overall picture, a lot of places are probably a little bit better condition than we are, but we're in a lot better shape than a lot of other places. And that is due to the very conservative and fiscal, keeping in mind our budgets and not spending, going crazy like other places did. And So I've just heard again today that Atwater may be on the verge. So it's sad, you know, so kudos to our staff for really maintaining a tight hold in our budget. I appreciate that. Next year's meeting will be in Sacramento, California League of Cities, and Don, I spoke with Michael today a little bit, and I think it'd be good for our city manager to attend this. So I've talked to Michael about it, maybe next year going to Sacramento, and a lot of good information, and it's well worth going, in my opinion. So with that, I'll see everybody tomorrow at Day of Reed's services, I hope, at 12:30. It's National Cemetery. And we're adjourned. Thank you.